Hello, students, and welcome to Chapter 1. So in this chapter, we are going to learn how to use Excel to organize data. So this is going to be a really short chapter because it's actually really straightforward. Okay, so now you will see that the introduction to the Excel spreadsheets is that the spreadsheets are a very popular tool for organizing and storing data. And now for some of you, you have already learned how to use Microsoft Excel before if you work at that's something like a warehouse or at a supermarket where you're doing inventories and stuff like that. They are very useful thing. Okay, so now let's just take a look at the data set, and then we'll just kind of work ourselves through using that. Okay, so data set 1.1. Okay, now a college advisor at a large diverse public college is searching for a means by which to better advise her students regarding their course loads, as she often notices that students become overwhelmed by their personal and academic responsibilities. In particular, she is interested in knowing how the number of hours students work at their jobs impacts the amount of time devoted to studying. To better understand the situation, she surveyed a few students and asked if they had a job, and if yes, are they employed full-time or part-time. She then asks each student how many hours per week the student devotes to schoolwork. The data follow. Okay, so you see that the data are organized in such ways. There are a group of students that has no job, and there are the group of students that work part-time, and then there are a group of students who work full-time. And then the number of here represent the how many hours per week the students devote to schoolwork. So you can see that this person has no job was able to devote 22 hours a week to schoolwork, and this person with no job with this person with part-time job has 20 hours per week devoted to schoolwork and so forth. Okay, now how will we do this in Excel? So you open up Excel, okay, and then you would open up a new workbook. Okay, and now with the Excel, you will see that it organized in columns and rows. Okay, so the rows are in numbers and the columns are in letters. Okay, and down here, it just kind of tell you how to navigate Excel. You can do that yourself. Okay, I'm not gonna go over that here because that's something that it's really kind of self-explanatory. If there's any questions, you can just kind of look through the textbook. It'll tell you how to do that. Okay, now let's just put in some of the stuff here. All right, so the way that you want to organize it is exactly how the textbook will want you to organize it. So you type it here, study time, press enter, okay, and down here in A3, in cell A3, you put in no job, okay, in C3, you put in part-time, okay, and in E3, you put in full-time. Okay, and then you just kind of copy down. So the way that you would do this, I usually do 20 something like 22, and when you are done, you just press the down button, and then this you can make this pretty fast actually. Okay, so I'm just copying down the numbers here. Okay, and then part-time 20, 14, 11, 16, 19, 13, 11, 15, 18, and then full-time 15, 12, and 8, 14, 12, 18, 15, 16. Okay, so that's how you will want to organize your data. All right, now let's take a look at what they want you to do next. All right, so the next thing they want you to do here is just trying to do some formatting things. So the way that you want to format this is basically, so let's say you want to format the study time. Okay, you can change colors. That will make it red. Okay, and let's say if you want to make it bigger, you can make the font bigger. Okay, and Now the job, no job, and full-time, that's the same. Make it bold and underline. So this way you'll be able to know that these are the these are the what is pretty much corresponding to that. Okay, and something I would like to do on the Excel is like because this the study time is basically your readout, right? So it is so you want to kind of give it a unit, and then you just want to say this is the number of hours because when we kind of think about it, 22, what's 22? 22 days, 22 minutes, 22 like seconds. Like what is this 22 representing? So in when you put in like the hours, you'll know that each one of this is 22 hours. Okay. And then if you want to be even more specific, what you can do is you can say 22 hours per week. Okay. Now this is even more clear now. All right, so that's how uh, ideally how you want to organize your data. Now let's take a look at to see if there's anything else that you will need to do for this particular uh, class. Okay, so now let's see number 13. What do the data in the table tell you? Well, the data, what the data are telling you is that this each row and each cell actually represents the data that they derive from one person. So this is person one has no job, was able to study for 22 hours. And this is another person that has no job, was studying for 20 hours per week. And then this is person number three that has no job and was able to study for 25 hours a week. Okay, now this is a person, another person. Okay, this is another person that has part-time job that was able to study for 20 hours a week, and this is another person that has a part-time job that was studying for 14 hours a week. Okay, and this person has a full-time job, was spending 15 hours a week studying, and this person has a full-time job and has 12 hours per week studying, and so forth. Okay, so that's basically how what the data are telling you. Okay, now let's take a look at the actual data collection exercise. Now, being that this is a online class, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start making up data. Okay, and what you'll just need to do is just to also I'll show you how you will want to organize data like this. Okay, now let's start a new sheet. Okay, and the way you want to organize this data is going to be kind of similar to what we just did. Okay, so you can do something like class standing here. Oh, sorry, class standing, and then up here you just put in male, and another cell you just put in female. And then you can make it bold and underline and a little bit bigger so you can see it. Okay. Now, you're probably wondering, this thing that is going to the A and then it's kind of extending out to where B is. Well, there is a very easy solution to this. You see this thing over here, you can drag it here, and now your A is actually much bigger than what it was default state to be. Okay, and you can make the B because B would just it's kind of a default space, so you can just have that over there. You can make this smaller like that. Okay, now freshman, okay, sophomore year, sophomore, okay, juniors and seniors. Okay, so now let's say that if there are 5 students that are male and they are in the freshman year, so you just put in 5 here. And now let's say if there are 3 male students that are sophomore and just put in 3 in here. Okay. And then let's say there are 8 males that are in the third year, junior year, and then you just put in 8 here. And now let's say if there are no seniors that are male in this class, and then you just put in 0. Okay. Now, so let's say if there's only one female that's a freshman, you just put in 1. Okay. And then let's say if there is 4 females that are sophomore, then you put in 4 and so forth. Okay. So I'm just gonna finish this entire uh, organization. So now you'll be able to take a look, and then you'll be able to see that this is what the class data potential. Well, I know this is made up data, but then this is what it actually would look like if you were to organize your class standing in male versus female. Okay. All right, that's it for this lesson. See if you can do this by yourself, okay? And because on your exams, you're gonna need to uh, recreate something like this, okay?